Hello everyone. My name is Roko Cosic. I'm a head groundskeeper at Football Club Hajduk in Croatia. And this is my presentation about transitioning from cool season grass to warm season grass. It's, it was something that I decided to do 2 years ago because we had big problems on the ryegrass during the summer days. And let me first say this is the mixto pitch that was installed in 2021 by the guys from Lemonta. So over the years, every summer we would have a tropical climate with over 40 degrees some days and a lot of heat waves. So the lolium could not survive these few months, and then we had difficulties over the whole year just because of this summertime. So a little bit about the club. It was founded in 1911. It's a historic club based on Mediterranean coast. We have a lot of sunny days, so it's a quite nice life there. And the capacity of the stadium is 34,000, and we're known for our passionate supporters called Torcida, and they are the oldest organized supporters in the whole Europe. Besides the stadium, we also have one hybrid training pitch and one artificial pitch, which is used mostly for the youth academy and the women's team. So it's a bit challenging having a team training on only one pitch. So we use the stadium pitch quite a lot, which is not so preferable, but there's nothing you can do about it, really. And so this is the problems. So this is, when you watch a football game and you see a pitch like this, it's like a punch in the eye, especially for us groundskeepers. We couldn't manage to keep it alive during the whole year, so something needed to happen. We took a great risk in choosing to transition to Bermuda grass. We are the first club and the only club in Croatia that have done this. So we didn't have much support here in Croatia. So yeah, it's as you probably know, ryegrass is not so tolerant to diseases and to hot summers. The root system got really weak, so even if you keep it green, it's not so playable. You get a lot of divots, a lot of damages, especially if you have stadium that the club train on. So we have a lot of training sessions plus matches, and you get the surface quite unstable, and it's a long recovery process. So basically we would get to fix especially the root zone in spring, and that's a long period to have a bad pitch. So those were one of the reasons, and of course aesthetically it's ugly. It's something people talk about when they come to the stadium. It's the first thing that people see when they come to the stadium. So yeah, as I said, it's like a punch in the eye especially for us groundskeepers. Yeah, also picture, you see a lot of dry spots. You can actually see where is the irrigation located. So we tried some methods I'm going to show you later, but yeah, and we tried everything. We used fungicides quite a lot, even though we would use them during the whole 12 months, whole year around, so preventive once a month. But when the summer came, we got the same problem. So this was my first year when I come to Hajduk in 2023. Back then I transitioned to Bermuda grass, but only on the training pitch, just to test it out before I do it on the stadium. It was quite well. So this was the summer of 2023, and yeah, it doesn't look so good. So diseases, in the middle you can recognize Pythium with mycelium on the top, and it's recognizable with oily black spots. We had brown patch, rhizoctonia, and a dollar spot. It usually goes like in June. It starts with Pythium and dollar spot, then dry patch, brown patch, and in August it's Pericularia or Gailey spot, which is one of the biggest problems we had. It's really tough disease to get rid of. We would spray it a lot, but it's too hot. I think the biggest problem is the stadium location. It's very humid and it's very hot. So during the nighttime we would have dew, even not only in the morning but over the whole process of the whole night. So 30 degrees in the morning plus high humidity equals a lot of diseases on the pitch. So tried some rescue methods. The budget is low, so we improvised. During the day we would have some shaders on some critical areas, but still did not help. We used a lot of wetting agents to prevent dry patch and manual hand watering on some areas. But yeah, this, when you come to the stadium and see this, it looks funny, you know. But we tried, we didn't manage, so it was time to think for a better solution. So we started doing transitioning to warm season grass. So Bermuda grass is a warm seasons grass which has great tolerance to high temperature. It's to drought, to salt, and to high traffic, especially when you have stadium that has 10, 15 training sessions per month, plus 3 or 4 games during the toughest months in the year. So it's excellent. It has excellent resistance to a lot of diseases. So in 2024, I did my first transition to Bermuda grass, and till this day, we did not use any fungicide on the pitch. So the only pesticide I'm using is herbicide once a year, just to kill ryegrass in the end of the May to start the process of transitioning to the warm season grass. So it has also excellent fast recovery, and I think the best part of it is its root zone. So it has rhizomes and stolons. Stolons are the above grass stems, and the rhizome is underground stem. So we now have a more firm surface, so not many damages after heavy usage. And we can also cut it really low, and it is expected to cut it really low. So currently I cut my pitch at 19 millimeters. So it's the fastest one in the league currently. So yeah, it's and also yeah, it needs much more water during the heat waves than other species we worked on when the cold ones. And as I said, we didn't use any fungicide on it, no diseases, so I think it was a great success with the pest control. So, plan how I did it. So, first of all, I think the most important thing is good timing and good planning before doing anything. So, we had to remove it chemically and mechanically. So, the first thing I would do, we would spray it with herbicide. I would use glyphosate, maybe 3 liters per hectare. So after 7 to 10 days, you get the pitch like on the third picture, so completely yellow and brownish. Now it's time to do the mechanical remove. We use the Coro machine by this company. So we remove it till the carpet. And we got some problems this year because the pitch is the carpet underneath, it needs to be changed. It's been the club is playing over 5 years on it, and did not do any renovations before I came there. So it's a little bumpy, so we can get a lot of damages with the machine. Then we need to manually remove it and transplant from another nursery. So after the pitch is cleaned and completely repaired, we do a lot of raking just to get the fibers standing up. And afterwards, we start with the second process, which is aeration and top dressing, and adding some soil improvements. And of course, seeding always using the disc seeders, double disc in 2 passes. We're using 15 grams per square meter, which is more than enough since the Bermuda seeds are quite tiny compared to the others. And yeah, adding soil improvements, starter fertilizers, rich phosphorus for quicker germination and better root zone at the end. So, and of course, the last is irrigation plan, keeping the soil moist at all costs until the germination. After it's just tone it down a bit, never overflood it, just keep it moist. So it's a process, it takes a lot of time. So you need to be patient, you need to prepare yourself with patience. And some challenges we had this year. In the first picture, you can see the temperatures, even 45 some days, which is actually quite good for Bermuda grass. In my experience, the hotter it was, the better Bermuda performed. You can see the last picture, which happened a big hailstorm after 4 weeks after we seeded Bermuda grass. So the pitch was full of ice. We had to remove it manually. We had to clean it with the machines the day after. It was full of garbage and everything because we had a tiny tornado that just came and struck with the hailstorm. So that was a big challenge for us, but we managed to clean it and to proceed to maintain the pitch and to get full coverage in expected time. We got 8 weeks till the first match. It was quite challenging, but in the end we managed to get good result. And yeah, it's also it's expected to control and reduce the mowing height when you maintain to get the better density, to control the Bermuda from being too wild, for getting too long. So this was the result after 8 weeks. So this was the end of July. It was pretty good, even though we had some challenges. And I think what is also very important is the player and coach feedback, to speak with the coaching staff, to get some improvement, to see what can you better. And this year, I think they were quite happy. The root zone, pretty strong. So we had all these training sessions, all these matches, and we didn't have any damages on the pitch. We would clean it with the rotary machines afterwards, after every usage, and just try to cut it every now and then. I would reduce the mowing height every few days for 2 millimeters till I get some 80-90 millimeters, which I was satisfied. The ball roll and the ball speed was much improved than the past years, and I think in the end the club was very happy, the players were very happy, the coaches also. So yeah, and we reduced the fungicide usage to 0. Basically, we used to do preventive once a month. Now it's 0 per year. Only, as I said, we use herbicide just to kill the just to kill the ryegrass in the end of the season. This is the picture from the last year. This is a different variety of the Bermuda grass. It also performed really well. This one is a bit quicker. We managed to get full coverage in 6 weeks. But in my opinion, this year's the seed was much more. It was better quality. It took us a bit longer, but we got better quality of grass. So maintenance, foliar and granular, of course. It needs a lot of amino acids, sea algae, calcium, and of course the most important thing is nitrogen. It needs a lot of nitrogen. You can use granular, you can use basic urea. Just keep in mind you have to irrigate quite well. Don't use too much so you don't burn the tip of the leaf. Of course, raking or verticutting. Never too deep. If you do verticut, maybe 1 millimeter just to cut the stolons to encourage the lateral growth to get better coverage. because, as I said, if you don't control the Bermuda grass, it can get quite wild. I think I'm going to show you in the next slide. Of course, I would usually I prefer to do raking to get the stolons up, and then I would cut it really low, and that gave me good results. And yeah, mowing 18, 20 millimeters. This type of variety can actually go to 15 millimeters, but I think maybe the ball will be too bouncy, so didn't wanna, and maybe too stressed. But I didn't want to go push it further. I think 19 millimeters is quite well for this time of the year. And aeration, I usually do like maybe 2 verti drains per month. So just to get to, because we had quite a lot of rain this year, and I think it helped us a lot to aerate a bit more often than we used to do. So I don't know if you can see on the left photo, you can see the stolons running wild, I would say. And on the right picture is more when you keep control of it, when you cut it low, when you verticut, when you rake, you get much better looking pitch, and the ball roll is much better for the football players. So this time of the year, autumn, end of September, maybe middle of October, depends on the location you're at. So when the day temperatures drop below 24 degrees, night temperature below 18, 17, it's time to consider going back to the cool season grass, because Bermuda grass cannot survive in the winter conditions. It needs hot climate and tropical climate. So for this operation, we only got 3 weeks since it is the middle of season. We usually catch some national team break and get like 3 weeks of nobody playing on the pitch. So there's not quite time to do everything as we do in the summertime. So with herbicide and with the Coro machine. So we do light verticuts. I try to push it as much as I can, but first of all, we cut the grass really low, cut the Bermuda really low, and I think the important thing is not to fertilize it maybe 2 weeks before you start the alolium transition, so you don't encourage her to grow back. So cut it really low, do some verticuts, and seed it with some good blends of ryegrass. It needs quite a lot, 50, 60 grams per square meter. But you can establish it really quite well in these 2 or 3 weeks. Of course, add some fertilizer at the beginning, rich phosphorus, and then NPK or whatever you're using. Okay, so the good thing about in the winter time that Bermuda goes dormant. So on the surface, it goes completely yellow. But during the winter time, the root zone stays alive and it acts like a natural hybrid, which is really good. So this is January this year. On the left photo, you can see where we seeded with the ryegrass, and you can see some spots that we left open. So just to see how it will act in the winter time. So it's completely dead. But on the right picture, I took a soil sample. You can see that the root zone of the Bermuda grass is around 12, 13 centimeters, while the ryegrass is around 5 or 6 centimeters. So it does act like a natural hybrid layer during the winter time, which is excellent, especially if you have if the club is using as much using the pitch as much as they use in Hajduk. So and you have more stable. Even though we have mixed carpet underneath, you have like another layer of stabilizer, so the surface is more compact. You don't have, and the surface is firm, so it doesn't move around. It sticks in one spot, and yeah, it's a strong root system during the whole year, which is excellent, especially for climate like in Croatia in Split. So. Conclusion, this is the first picture. This is after the first top dressing. Yeah, you know, when people come to the stadium and see this, everybody's like, what is this? And I cannot blame them. But I always tell them to trust the process. Keep in mind, it's a long process. Just keep in mind it's going to be okay if everything goes as planned, which we had some, as I show you, some storms going on, but in the end, it was okay. This was after top dressing, the first one, just with the quartz sand, and the second one is 7 weeks from that. So in the second picture also, we are not quite there, but I was satisfied with it because with all the problems we had for this year's transition, I think it turned out to be completely good idea. Yeah, we reduced maintenance cost, water, no fungicide usage, no disease problems, and yeah, I think we did a good job, even though the budget was really tight, especially this year. But in the end, I think the most important is the player and coach satisfaction. So I think we managed to get that. So this is my presentation on my experience, how we done it. So if you have any questions for me, any hints, tips maybe, if any of you are doing this at your club, I'm happy to speak with you. I'm happy to get to enrich my knowledge also. So yeah, if anybody has some questions for me, I'll be happy to answer. Thank you. I have one artificial pitch and 2 hybrid pitch. Now 3 people plus me. But they do all the stuff around the stadium. They're just not based on the grass, which is unfortunate. But yeah, we still managed to do the grass stuff also.